Hey, welcome to World Code Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The headlines screamed, US and Chinese warships clash in the South China Sea. Newsrooms around the globe scrambled to cover the breaking story, as images of warships and urgent tickers dominated every screen. The world's attention was instantly riveted to this flashpoint, where two superpowers now stood on the brink. The Pentagon confirmed a live fire exchange between US and Chinese naval forces. Military officials, faces grim, addressed the press, their words measured, but the gravity unmistakable. The official statement was clear. This was no mere posturing. Shots had been fired, and the stakes had never been higher. The world is on edge. In capitals from Washington to Beijing, leaders convened emergency meetings. Ordinary people watched, transfixed and anxious, as the specter of war loomed ever closer. The South China Sea, long a simmering cauldron, was now the epicenter of global anxiety. On a humid morning near the Spratly Islands, calm waters erupted into chaos. Years of tension, territorial disputes, and military buildup had finally boiled over. The sudden roar of missiles shattered the uneasy peace, sending shockwaves through the region and beyond. The era of warnings and diplomacy was gone, replaced by missile launches and frantic military chatter. On the USS Samson, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the day began like any other. Routine drills, quiet anticipation, until it didn't. In an instant, the crew's world was upended, and every second now counted. Sailors moved with practiced efficiency, but tension simmered beneath the routine. For weeks, they'd shadowed a growing Chinese flotilla, upholding freedom of navigation, knowing one wrong move could ignite a global crisis. Every radar blip, every radio transmission was scrutinized, nerves stretched taut as steel cables. Suddenly, Chinese vessels closed in, their maneuvers aggressive and deliberate. A Chinese frigate cut across the Samson's bow, a blatant act of intimidation. Commander Eva Rostova, calm but resolute, ordered a sharp turn, narrowly avoiding collision. The message was unmistakable. This was a test of resolve, and neither side was backing down. The standoff was over. The test had begun. Alarms blared. This was no drill. General quarters. All hands. Man your battle stations. The crew raced to their posts, adrenaline surging, as the ship braced for the unknown. Every sailor knew history was being written in real time. The ship transformed into a weapon of war as the Chinese fleet loomed larger. The spark had been lit. The South China Sea was about to become the world's most dangerous battlefield. The world held its breath, watching as the first shots of a new era echoed across the waves. The balance of power was shifting, and no one could predict what would come next. The USS Samson, a formidable Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, cut through the waves with purpose and precision. As a symbol of American naval power and resolve, it sailed boldly into contested waters, where every move was watched and measured. Its mission was clear: keep vital international shipping lanes open and challenge Beijing's sweeping territorial claims that threatened the free flow of commerce. Commander Rostova stood tall on the bridge, her presence calm but commanding amid the tension. Her eyes were fixed on the glowing tactical display, tracking every vessel nearby. Her orders were simple in words but complex in execution. Show unwavering resolve, yet avoid open conflict, an almost impossible balance as Chinese ships pressed ever closer, testing the limits of patience and protocol. The Samson led the formation, its hull slicing through the water at the very front, exposed at the tip of the spear, bearing the weight of responsibility for the entire fleet behind it. The crew knew the risks. This was China's backyard, a region bristling with advanced weaponry and a modern, assertive navy. Chinese warships, bristling with missiles and cutting-edge technology, shadowed their every move, making the tension palpable. Trillions in global trade depended on these waters, with every ship and tanker representing livelihoods and economies around the world. The Samson's patrol was about more than a single ship or a single nation. It was about upholding the global order, defending the principles of free navigation and international law. As the Chinese fleet formed a menacing arc, tightening their formation with calculated precision, Rostova realized this confrontation would set a precedent for years to come. The tension was suffocating, every decision carrying enormous consequences. The world watched, waiting to see who would blink first, as the fate of the region, and perhaps the world order, hung in the balance. The line in the water was drawn, a silent but unmistakable boundary between peace and potential conflict. The stakes had never been higher, and every heartbeat echoed with the weight of history in the making. Every sailor on the Samson knew the rules of engagement. Do not fire unless fired upon. But what counted as hostile intent? A radar lock, a missile launcher uncovered? For the Chinese, the Samson was the intruder. For the Americans, they were upholding law. Both sides pushed limits, testing resolve with aggressive maneuvers and radar locks. Commander Rostova had to stay calm. One mistake could trigger catastrophe. The lead Chinese destroyer broadcast a warning. American warship, you are in Chinese waters. Leave or face consequences. Rostova replied, we are operating in international waters in accordance with international law. The exchange was tense, polite, and final. Both sides prepared for the worst. The final warnings had been given, the time for talking was over. The first sign of attack was electronic, a shrieking alarm in the Combat Information Center. Vampire! Vampire! Multiple inbound missiles. The tactical officer's voice cut through the tension. Red triangles streaked toward the Samson, sea-skimming anti-ship missiles, fast and deadly. Simultaneously, a swarm of drones appeared on radar. The Samson's Aegis system roared to life. Engage. SM-2s away, Rostova ordered. Interceptor missiles launched, meeting threats miles away in brilliant flashes. But the attack was overwhelming, a saturation barrage. Drones swarmed, distracting defenses. CRAM, CIWS-2 automatic, Rostova commanded. The ship's close-in weapons spat fire, the sky a chaotic canvas of explosions. One missile broke through, seconds from impact. The phalanx CIWS swiveled, unleashing a torrent of rounds. The crew watched, fate hanging in the balance. The phalanx shredded the missile just yards from the ship. A fireball rained shrapnel on deck. Relief was brief. Another missile struck the port side with a deafening boom. The ship lurched, lights flickered, smoke filled the air. Damage report, Rostova demanded. Fires raged, power was lost, but the Samson was wounded, not dead. Damage control teams raced to contain the flames and patch the hull. Sailors became firefighters, engineers rerouted power, medics tended the wounded. Every crew member fought for the ship and each other. The hit knocked out aft weapons, but forward launchers and radar still worked. The Samson could still fight. In the CIC, operators reconfigured systems, bracing for the next wave. The crew's resilience was astounding. They focused on survival and defense. The battle for the Samson was far from over. On the bridge, Commander Rostova faced chaos. Damage alarms blared, smoke filled the air, and the ship rocked from nearby explosions. Flooding threatened the lower decks, and enemy ships were closing in fast, their intentions unmistakably hostile. Her priority was clear: survival of her crew and ship. Get those fires out. Isolate the flooding, she shouted, her voice cutting through the confusion as sailors rushed to contain the damage and save their shipmates. But the Samson couldn't just defend, it had to fight back. Tactical, give me a firing solution on the lead Chinese destroyer, Rostova commanded, her eyes fixed on the tactical display as officers scrambled to comply. Aft radar is down, forward guidance only. Lower probability, came the tense reply, the crew working frantically to restore full sensor capability. Rostova weighed the risk in seconds. Retaliation could escalate the conflict into all-out war, but inaction would leave her ship vulnerable to another devastating strike. Every second counted, and the burden of command pressed heavily on her shoulders. Make it ready, she ordered, her voice steady. The decision to fire was hers alone, a moment that would define her leadership and the fate of everyone aboard. Weapons free, Launch the harpoons. Target, CNS Hefei. The order was clear, and the crew sprang into action, knowing the gravity of what was about to unfold. 2 harpoon missiles streaked low over the waves, leaving white trails as they raced toward the Chinese flagship, the tension on the bridge palpable. Rostova shifted tactics instantly, ordering the helmsman to turn the less damaged side toward the enemy, buying precious seconds and protecting vital systems. "Helm, bring us about. Get remaining weapons on target," she commanded, her team responding with practiced efficiency despite the chaos. Her commands were quick, precise, and logical. Every action measured, every second critical in the heat of battle. In the heart of battle, Commander Eva Rostova remained calm and decisive, her composure inspiring confidence in her crew as they faced the unknown together. The Samson was battered, but not beaten. The fight was escalating, and the world was watching as history unfolded in real time on the open sea. The duel between the Samson and the Chinese flotilla was just the beginning. Over the horizon, the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group responded to Samson's distress call. FA-18. Super Hornets launched, loaded for battle. The fight expanded. Now air power joined the fray. E-2D Hawkeyes provided a god's eye view, tracking every move. Chinese fighters scrambled from island bases, turning the sky into a dogfighting arena. Electronic warfare jammed sensors and communications. The carrier's arrival forced Chinese ships to defend themselves, giving the Samson time to regroup. The battle had become a full-scale engagement between 2 great navies. The stakes had never been higher. Hypersonic missiles, drone swarms, stealth fighters, technology dominated the battle. But behind every system was a human being. Sailors fought fires, operators battled exhaustion, pilots endured G-forces. The human cost was immediate and brutal. This was the first major naval clash between nuclear powers. Every battlefield decision risked global escalation. Leaders in Washington and Beijing watched, desperate to contain the crisis. The battle was about more than ships. It was about the future of the global order. Advanced weapons made defense costly and difficult. The Samson survived, but only barely. The price: billions in equipment, lives lost, ships damaged. The engagement revealed the violent, expensive nature of modern war. No matter the technology, war remains a human tragedy. As the sun set, an uneasy quiet fell over the South China Sea. Both sides, battered and bloodied, pulled back to assess their losses. The USS Samson, scarred but afloat, was escorted away. The Chinese fleet retreated, having lost a destroyer but proving their resolve. On paper, the US had won, but the cost was staggering. The battle exposed the economic reality. It's far more expensive to defend than attack. America's technological edge no longer guaranteed easy victory. China's willingness to fight and inflict damage was clear. The era of uncontested US naval dominance was over. The world now waits, knowing the danger has not passed. The next showdown is only a matter of time.